Kia ora and welcome to The Cage and welcome back to Auckland First 15 School Report. I do hope you enjoyed the holidays, but I've got to say with just 2 rounds remaining in the Auckland 1A Championship, we are more than ready to rip into the new term. Today we're at St Peter's, one of 5 schools vying for those last 3 playoff spots. It doesn't get much tighter, so let's get into it.
6 great games for you, and this is the 10th round of the Auckland 1A Championship as St Peter's aim to lock up a semi-final spot against Dilworth, hoping to join them in the Final 4 at King's College, who must beat league leaders Mount Albert Grammar. Also in the playoff hunt, 3rd place Sacred Heart, who travel to Aorere College. Kelston host Otahuhu. Otahuhu College square off against Auckland Grammar. But first, a desperate De La Salle aim to keep their season alive in a blockbuster clash against defending champion St Kitts. Week 10 of the Auckland 1A Championship pitted De La Salle College against St Cadogan College, with De La Salle needing maximum 10 points from their final 2 games to sneak into the playoffs. For St Kitts, a loss could see them slip from 2nd to 5th, depending on other results. This shaped as a season-defining fixture for both schools. And almost immediately from the kick-off, following just 5 phases of play, De La Salle sent the ball wide to their big ball runners lurking in the backline. And rampaging in the wide channels as he so often does, PJ Hutch crashed over for the opening 5-pointer. It was D-Day for De La Salle as they literally threw caution to the wind in their quest for 4 tries. And a well-weighted kick from George Hutch almost had his brother in for a 2nd try in quick succession. Having weathered a 30-minute onslaught of De La Salle attacks, St Cadogan finally worked their way into the opposition half, where a smart pass by Reves Rihana had Rupina Parkinson cartwheeling in for a try. Carlos Price slotted a brilliant conversion from the sideline to give St Cadogan College a narrow 7-5 lead at half-time. The arm wrestle continued into the 2nd period, with De La Salle needing a further 3 tries to keep their season alive. But St Kitts' pressure produced a charge down, and Captain Tani Ilu Telea was quickest to the ball to score a converted try for the visitors. As time ticked down, De La Salle looked for a miracle, and it was PJ Hutch again who exploded off the back of a scrum and surged into opposition territory. And St Cadogan were able to repel the home side's attack. The defending champs tackled heroically to the final whistle, and they eventually ground out to a 14 points to 7 win. De La Salle's season over, while St Kitts remain in 2nd place and hold on to the all-important home semi-final spot.
We had just started at the beginning of the week, but then again we had to focus on De La Salle because we knew these guys were a dangerous team, and yeah, it was pretty important for us.
We made a lot of errors, more than St Kitts, and I think that really showed out there. You know, I think we showed that we're right up there with the top teams. Just unfortunate to come away with the loss.
I think the key was just having a positive attitude, like just wanting to tackle, get up and make another tackle, just being repetitive with these guys and working hard for each other.
Nice work, St Kitts, way to get the job done. Now, one team keeping a close eye on that result is King's College, who are sitting in 5th heading into this round. They need a win to get amongst the top 4, but today they take on none other than unbeaten Mount Albert Grammar.
The equation was simple for King's College heading into round 10 of the Auckland 1A Championship: win and stay alive for another week. Lose and their fate would be in the hands of other schools. But to get that victory, they would need to do what no side has done this season and beat high-flying Mount Albert Grammar, who with a maximum 45 competition points sit atop the 1A table. Mags have conceded just 51 points this season and amassed a whopping 439. And they were in point-scoring mood early as Patrick Party launched a counter-attack, found his captain Waimana Riedlinger Kappa, and then followed up on a great line to sprint away for a converted try after just 7 minutes. King's College worked their way back into the game, and the first half became an arm wrestle. The home side's best chance being snuffed out when desperate Mags defence bundled fullback Jamie Spoward into touch. The visitors going to the break with a 7-0 lead. A tense encounter continued into the second half with Mount Albert again capitalising on the slimmest of chances. Fullback Niven Longapoa scorching onto a box kick and putting the league leaders ahead 14-0. With King's College season teetering on the brink, they used the win to grind their way into Mount Albert's 22, where standout number 8 AJ Moore burrowed over for a confidence-boosting converted try. Entering the final 10 minutes, impressive first five Sharan Matoi knocked over a long-range penalty to bring King's College to within 4 points of Mags, set up a grandstand finish. As the clock counted down, Kings desperately hunted for the game-winning try and controlled possession in the close quarters. But when they decided to spin the ball through their backs, they had Mount Albert stretched and the impressive Spowett skipped out of a tackle and dropped off a neat pass for Matoi to put Kings ahead by 1 point. There was time for one last throw of the dice from Mount Albert, who won the kick-off and muscled their way into kicking range. Abrasive flanker Isaiah Papali'i was eventually halted, but the referee had spied an earlier infringement, giving Mags the chance to keep their winning run alive at the final kick of the game. Into a gusting win, Niven Longapoa judged the conditions expertly. Mount Albert ending King's College's 2016 campaign and earning themselves a home semi-final as their unbeaten season rolls on.
Today's result was really important. We knew what it's like coming here to Kings. None of the players had won at Kings before, so that was probably one of our big focuses, is come over here and just tip them on their home ground.
Yeah, it was really important to obviously get some momentum back into our season, and we really wanted to secure first place. Obviously coming into today we weren't quite there, and we knew Kings were fighting for their season, so it was really important to get a result, and we're fortunate enough to come away with a win in the end.
Well, we were expecting some tight results this weekend, but that was a beauty. Now to a team sitting in that all-important fourth spot heading into this week, St Peter's, who take on near neighbours Dilworth School. Things got a bit feisty between these teams when they met for the first time last season, with Dilworth upsetting the Saints. So can St Peter's get their revenge? The Battle of Broadway is up next on School Report.
My name is Jonah. I am flanker for Dilworth First 15. My base just called me Jonah.
What is your earliest rugby memory?
Making it into the First 15 and playing in the relegation.
Who was your rugby idol growing up?
My rugby idol was BG Williams, because he's an old school player and made the game more fun.
What was the first position you played?
My first position I played was first five for Ponsonby.
What superstitions do you have?
Every morning of game day, I would always go down to the shop and buy a Powerade.
What wouldn't you step on the field without?
My boots and mouthguard.
Who was your team's hot stepper on the field?
Devon Pye.
Who's your team's hot stepper off the field?
Sionia Okawa.
Who in your team can go beast mode?
Sean Fusatoa, Nico Aholele, and Lorenzo Faulu.
What is your most memorable school rugby moment?
Back in year 7 and 8, winning the Shield.
What is your favourite part of playing for school?
Doing the school proud and the vibe you get from the boys.
Which old boy do you look up to?
Angus Tarval.
Who are your Auckland First 15 rivals?
Out of there, because we have tight games with them and we lost to them last year.
What is your favourite food after a win?
Whatever's for dinner.
What is your favourite food after a loss?
Don't need anything.
Why do you love rugby?
The sport. That's my passion.
Which actor would you play in a movie? Oh, would play you in a movie?
Denzel Washington.
Welcome back to School Report, where Jonah and his Dilworth side need to be on song if they're to upset St Peter's today, especially since Alex Darbeck knows his Saints need a win to keep their playoff dream alive.
Dilworth playing with a strong tailwind of the first half, got on the board in just the second minute through the boot of first 5'8", Molly Favour. One of the strengths to St Peter's 7-win season has been their well-drilled line-out drive, and number 8, Utiru Tolo, was given an easy ride to the try line to put the home team in front 5-3. St Peter's enter their final push for the playoffs without their talismanic first 5 Harry Plummer, who suffered a season-ending shoulder injury playing for the Blues under-18s, and his stand-in Joshua Loveday inadvertently had the home side hot on attack when his penalty struck the uprights. Captain Alex Darbeck initiated a series of pick-and-go rucks with Wesley Tapu Ilu following his lead to get St Peters within a metre of the try line. His fellow prop, Zion Holo, inched the blue and golds even closer. When the ball was recycled to the right, it was ultimately Tulai who bagged himself a brace. Loveday then coolly knocked over a difficult conversion into the wind to have St Peters in front by 9 points. On the stroke of half-time, live wire halfback Reloy Suasu showed the form that took him to the Blues under-18 team as he sliced through the opposition defence, linking up with AJ Lamb. St Peters a well-deserved 17-3 lead at half-time. Almost immediately from the restart, a slick midfield move had Lamb in for a double and secured the all-important bonus point try that gives the Saints a sniff of a home semi-final. 25 minutes of Dilworth resistance was ultimately broken when pressure from the St Peters backs forced an error, and 14-year-old replacement Apatoni Vaka capped off a clinical 31-3 win for the Blue and Golds, who ensure they will contest the semi-finals in a fortnight.
Alex, congrats on the win. How good is that, especially considering you were missing your star first five out there?
Yeah, thank you. It was real good. At the cage, the bonus point was real good, and we're just real pleased to put in a good performance. Josh Loveday, the new 10, he did a real good job of driving us around the field today.
Well, couldn't quite repeat the feat of last year this time. What happened out there today?
Oh, I just think it's pretty difficult when you can only string a couple of phases together. I think, St Peters put us under a bit of pressure and boys keep spilling ball, so the results probably speaks volumes.
I think we benefited from a game last weekend against Gisborne boys, and we kicked on from that, and it was a good performance from us.
And to get the bonus point as well, pretty crucial. Could mean you're in line for a home semi-final. Was that talked about going into this match?
Not really. I think a home semi-final could be a bit of a stretch as well, but to get 5 points out of the game was obviously very pleasing.
So a good day out there for St Peters, who get some revenge and manage to stay in playoff contention. And as a number of schools play musical chairs with the semi-final spots, there is one school who can't be ruled out. Sacred Heart suffered their first loss just before the holidays. They've been stewing on it for a couple of weeks, determined to get back to winning ways against Aorere.
Sacred Heart travelled to Aorere College in round 10 of the Auckland 1A Championship, looking to get back to their winning ways, having suffered their first loss of the season prior to the holidays. And the visitors had a bonus point win in mind as they aim to earn a home semi-final, but many sides have struggled to grind out tries against a muscular Aorere team. And the home side got on the board first as JP Natoko slotted a penalty for Aorere College. 10 minutes later, some long passing from Sacred Heart's backs and forwards had the opposition stretched, and centre Lameki Namoa attempting to bend the line. It was then the turn of two players returning to the Sacred team from injuries to get in on the action. Firstly, winger Melino Hui Uia drew in a number of defenders, and then it was over to prop for Tongia Paia to dance his way to the line and score a brilliant converted try. Aorere's Natoko closed the gap to just 1 point as he slotted another penalty. But Ben Engels restored the margin to 4 points as Sacred Heart held a slender 10-6 lead at the break. 4 minutes into the second stanza and Sacred continued to give the ball air in search of those much needed tries. And Namoa took on the line again, found Josh Gray on his outside, who cleverly grubbered through for standout captain Jack McHugh to dot down for a valuable 5-pointer. As Aorere College attempted to exit their 22, that allowed the visitors to counter-attack. Engels rifled out a long pass, finding Hui Uia in plenty of space, and the big winger wound up and generated just enough momentum to slide across the line for Sacred Heart's third try of the afternoon. For the final 20 minutes, Sacred searched for that crucial bonus point try, but they couldn't find a way through Aorere's green and red wall, settling for a solid 22-6 win that ensures them a place in the playoffs.
We probably didn't prepare as well as we should have, and Aorere played really well. Hats off to them, great side, and had a good performance today. We wanted the bonus point, and we believed that we would, but hats off again to Aotearoa for a solid D and just keeping us out of it.
You know, the boys, they're proud, you know, and especially here we've made this a pretty tough place for teams to come, and I think moving forward into next year, certainly teams will approach games here quite differently probably than they have done maybe this year.
We've been out here since the game's finished for about 3 or 4 minutes, and there's a few home truths being shared with complacency and just being probably need to raise our standards a wee bit. Our preparation wasn't ideal, so that's all part of learning how to perform week in and week out.
Just like that, Sacred Heart are back in the mix for a home semi-final. When we return on School Report, it's the battle for the minor placings. Kelston square off against Onehunga and Auckland Grammar travel to Otahuhu.
Kelston Boys High School squared off with Onehunga High School in round 10 of the Auckland 1A Championship. Kelston have endured a frustrating season, impressing in many games this year without getting the expected results. Onehunga sat just 5 points adrift of the home side on the 1A ladder, so lined up with a chance to overtake their celebrated opposition. 5 minutes into the encounter, a series of pick-and-go rucks through the middle saw Kelston grind out some hard-earned metres. From there, hooker Ezra Vai used good low body position to duck under for a converted try. 20 minutes into the first half, and Onehunga's forwards muscled their way into the Kelston 22 and controlled the possession well in the wet conditions. The visitors' inspirational captain, Joseph Tungalu, marked his return to number 8 with a classic back rowers try. First 5, Abel Mangalongo then knocked over a penalty to give Kelston a 5-point lead at half-time. Playing with the wind in the second period, the home side picked up the intensity and Fa'alai Penny scored from a quick tap to pull ahead by 12 points. A line out deep in the Onehunga half was the ideal position for the boys in red to execute a line-out drive that inched towards the line. Prop Sione Lavai scooped up the ball, twisted across the try line to secure the bonus point for Kelston. The home side rounded out their win when a long pass found AJ Saganga in plenty of space, and the number 8 sent Sione Naitoko across untouched. Kelston pulling away in the second half to secure a 27-5 victory over Onehunga High School.
We haven't had the best season this year, and we had a few rough starts, but I think as the season progressed, we got better and better. And that showed for the last couple of wins we've got.
Yeah, I think we've developed piece by piece this year, and I think today when we really put it together, we look good. And I hope we can just sort of bottle what we did really well this week and carry it into next week against St. Peter's at the Cage.
Well done, Kelston. Now, another 2 teams looking for a morale-boosting win late in the season are Auckland Grammar and Otahuhu College. The 2 former champions face off in our final game for round 10.
Week 10 of the Auckland 1A Championship saw Auckland Grammar travel to Otahuhu College. Last year's beaten finalists are nearing the end of an indifferent season, comprising of 4 wins and 5 losses. They faced a winless Otahuhu College, who'd like nothing more than to get their first victory of the year against the 63-time champions. And in just the first minute of action, Auckland Grammar won a turnover, and rampaging prop Kainan Sitaini Tua showed why he often lines up in the back row, powering across for the opening 5-pointer of the afternoon. The scoreless 20-minute period ended when Sione Havili put number 8 Tovo Faliafa into a gap and then popped up on his outside shoulder to score a quality converted try, created and finished by the loose forwards. Auckland Grammar continued to wear down the Otahuhu defence through multiple phases, and the gaps appeared for Mansell Lavilua to dot down and give Auckland Grammar a 19-point lead at half-time. The second period began with Otahuhu holding their line for 15 minutes, but attacking line-out ball was quickly spread to the Auckland Grammar backs, where Sean Cassidy got on the outside, Fred winger Callum Bean, and fullback Simeon Latu finished the job with some fancy footwork in the corner to snare the bonus point try. 10 minutes later, Ansatani Tua gobbled up the loose line-out ball and then pulled off a fine impersonation of a first five, chipping the opposition, controlling the ball on his boot and diving across to score a famous front rower's try. Grammar continued to press for points, and it was giant replacement back Caleb Niuhulu who thundered across for the 6th try of the afternoon. Shortly after, the visitors attacked the big blind side, where Lavilua and Latu displayed some crisp passing in soggy conditions and sent Niuhulu in for a 2nd try of the day. Grammar wrapped up the win by again using quick line-out ball to release their back line. More slick handling saw replacement forward Zach Martin burst through the defensive line and charge upfield, racing almost all the way to the try line. Possession was eventually recycled. Charging on to a short pass was captain Tovai Faliafa. Auckland Grammar claiming their 5th win of the season, beating Otahuhu College 52-0.
Oh, we're really pleased. We've been looking to finish the season off well, so I think this performance is one step away from that last game and that performance we won.
I think Auckland Grammar played to the conditions much better than we did, and they were more accurate at the breakdown, I thought. Our boys, they come in different sizes, but they always give a 70-minute effort, so we always think we play with a lot of heart, and I think the boys did that again today.
It's always important to win your set piece ball and keep possession. So I thought in particular our tight 5, given that we lost 3 of the 5 that we normally start with over injury in the last week, I thought those guys stood up today and played really well.
Nice work there, Auckland Grammar. Now for the big reveal, let's get to the points table because I am dying to see where things sit with just 1 round to go.
So it's taken 10 weeks, but the semi-finalists have been found, although who'll host one of the semis is still unknown. Mount Albert Grammar are out in front by 9 points, and they'll stage a home semi-final. St Cadogan, Sacred Heart and St Peter's are separated by just 3 points and will slug it out in the final week to secure home advantage in the playoffs. King's College are now 5 points adrift, but can't overtake St Peter's, while De La Salle's campaign also ends in the penultimate round.
So it'll all come down to the final round. We couldn't have planned it any better, saving some of the most mouth-watering fixtures to last.
Yes, 3 crucial clashes in the final week of the 1A regular season as first place Mount Albert hosts second place St Cadogan, who need to win to ensure a home semi-final. So too do Sacred Heart, who travel to Auckland Grammar in our feature match. St Peter's also have an outside chance of earning a home playoff but need to beat Kelston. Elsewhere, De La Salle hosts King's College, Dilworth welcome Onehunga, and Otahuhu and Aorere battle for the Kevin Mialamu Trophy.
Well, that's it for us today and for me this season. I'm off to the Olympics, but I'll be keeping updated from Rio on the Auckland First 15 Facebook page, where you can also catch all the top tries from this round. For now though, thanks so much for joining me, and I wish all the teams the very best for the rest of the season.